The serpents lure the village of Ukoja lay nestled among rolling green hills, a peaceful community where life was simple but harmonious. That peace, however, was shattered when young women began to die mysteriously. Their bodies were found in the mornings, pale and lifeless, with strange snake-like bite marks on their skin. Fear gripped the village, and whispers of curses and evil spirits filled the air. Adanna, a sharp and courageous young woman, returned to Ukoja from her apprenticeship in the neighboring town upon hearing of the death of her best friend, Nkim. Nkim's death was unlike anything Adanna had encountered before, and the look of terror frozen on her face haunted Adanna's dreams. Determined to uncover the truth, she began asking questions, observing the people around her, and looking for patterns. Her suspicions quickly fell on Chima, a handsome builder who had recently arrived in Ukoja. Women in the village were drawn to him like moths to a flame. His charm was undeniable, and he seemed to know just the right words to say to win their trust. Yet, something about him didn't sit well with Adanna. There was a darkness in his eyes that others seemed blind to. Adanna began to shadow him, carefully watching his movements. She noticed that every woman who had died had been seen with Chima shortly before her death, but she needed proof. Desperate for answers, Adanna visited the village oracle. The oracle, a wizened old woman with eyes like molten gold, lived deep in the forest. The journey was treacherous, but Adanna's resolve was unshakable. When she arrived, the oracle listened to her tale in silence before speaking. "The man you suspect is no ordinary man," she said. "He carries death with him, hidden in the form of a serpent bound to his will. This snake does his bidding, striking down those he lures close. To defeat him, you will need courage, and this." The oracle handed Adanna a simple-looking wooden flute. "This flute has been blessed by the spirits. Its melody can control the serpent. But be warned, Chima's darkness runs deep. He will not surrender easily." Armed with the flute, Adanna devised a plan. She decided to confront Chima directly, feigning interest in him to get close enough to expose his secret. The next day, Adanna approached Chima at the village well. She smiled coyly, pretending to be enchanted by his charm. Chima, sensing an easy target, welcomed her attention. Over the following days, Adanna played her role perfectly, joining him for walks and listening to his stories. All the while, she kept the flute hidden beneath her cloak, waiting for the right moment. One evening, Chima invited Adanna to a secluded spot near the river. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the water. Adanna knew this was the moment. As Chima leaned in closer, she noticed a strange movement beneath his clothes, a faint, writhing motion. Before he could strike, Adanna pulled out the flute and began to play. The melody was haunting, its notes echoing through the night like a siren's call. Chima froze, his eyes wide with shock. From beneath his tunic, the serpent emerged, a massive, black cobra with eyes that glowed like embers. It swayed to the music, its aggression subdued by the flute's magic. Chima screamed, his charming facade crumbling into a mask of terror. "You," he hissed, "how dare you interfere?" Adanna didn't stop playing. The serpent turned toward Chima, its fangs bared. With one swift strike, it sank its venom into his neck. Chima fell to the ground, his body convulsing before lying still. The serpent slithered away into the darkness, its bond to Chima broken. Adanna lowered the flute, her hands trembling but her heart filled with triumph. The villagers, drawn by the commotion, arrived to find Chima dead and Adanna standing tall. She told them everything, exposing Chima's evil deeds. The people were horrified but grateful. Adanna had not only avenged Nkim but also saved countless others from meeting the same fate. From that day forward, Adanna became a symbol of strength and wisdom in Ukoja. The flute was placed in the village shrine as a reminder of her bravery. Chima's name faded into legend, a cautionary tale about the dangers of deceit and false charm. Ukoja thrived once more, its people united by the memory of a young woman who refused to let fear silence her.